Ed Zwick has been up close with Hollywood's biggest stars. He co created the hugely popular 30 something and went on to win an Oscar and critical acclaim for a string of epic movies, from Glory to Blood Diamond, Legends of the Fall, and The Last Samurai. Now, he's written a juicy memoir, Hits, Flops, and Other Illusions, about directing the best Denzel, Brad, Leo, and Tom.
Yes.
Certainly had your share of adventures in art and storytelling. You've had a great run. Now, my first question is, with all that, illusions and disillusions, are you still starstruck?
Oh boy, it's funny. You know, my wife sometimes likes to call me Charlie Brown with the football because I'm convinced that every time that relationship is real because it has been intense and intimate and you've had this great collaboration. And then as often as not, it could be 6 months later when it's as if, why won't they return my phone call? Or who is that person? It's a promiscuity of a certain kind. This isn't to say that there aren't some people who have remained, in fact, in my life from that. Indeed, they have. They carry with them this thing that is magnetic. And, you know, what is charisma? What is magnetism? Well, there is something, and often they have a kind of a brilliance, an internal brilliance, whether that's wit or emotional intelligence or even, you know, legitimate intellectual lives. But they are unique in the ability to fascinate you. Denzel Washington, by my lights, probably has the most brilliant career of any actor living now. I mean, if you think about how many performances there have been, obviously, he has this very unique sense of being present, and also a certain, may I say, a certain amount of fuck you. You can bleep that, but that is a thing that has defined so many actors from, you know, from Steve McQueen to Marlon Brando to whomever.
Did Leonardo surprise you how willing he was to take the ride and with you?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, there have been certain actors who are unhappy in their lives and who see fit to try to make everybody unhappy around them. But in my experience, the movie stars, the biggest ones, at least that I've worked with, have often been among the most workmanlike and compliant. And he was absolutely available to me. And so too was Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway. And so was,
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he had that kind of extraordinary intensity and focus. And we'd met several times over the years, and, you know, you'd heard directors talk about him. But it's quite another thing to see the level of that commitment and that willingness to say, if you said to Tom, you know, I'd like you to do this scene, you know, standing on your head chewing gum, he would say, well, I'll try that. Now, I mean, he would have his own ideas but that might not have been the way to do it, and he would feel free to tell you.
And of course, Brad Pitt.
I had met him before that because it took us a long time to get Legends of the Fall going. And at one point, Brad had come in, and I thought he would be great for it, and that's how it was. Although there's a very interesting phenomenon once you've just finished a movie and previewed it for the first time. There's some whisper campaign where the word gets out that there's something going on. And while I was in the cutting room, Warren Beatty said, "Yeah, here you have this movie. Could I come by and just take a look?" And so did, Tony Scott came by, and so did, I don't know, somebody. I mean, it was like a who's who of people sort of wandering into my cutting room, and I'm in awe of who's walking in the cutting room, and they're like, "Oh, sorry to disturb you, but could we?" And that would show them 5 minutes of film. And by the time that movie came out, it was like this little known secret that he was something. My experience with him was good, although he had really strong ideas, and I didn't agree with all of them. And we got into it a few times, more than once. But every time, because it came out of passion for the work, we would make up and move on, and that's okay.
You hugged it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of a bro thing.
When a movie like Barbie and Oppenheimer, at a time when we think no one will go to the theater, makes big money, does that give you heart that if there's something we can
Yeah.
figure out that people want to see, they'll go?
Yeah, and those people who went at those theaters and saw full theaters and had the experience of seeing movies in a full theater, maybe they'll want to come see another one.
Well, you're bringing me to a very important subject, which is movies and how much we care about. Or I certainly am a total romantic about this. My
Yeah.
life has been changed by movies. I want to be in a theater with an audience, and yet I digest plenty of stuff in streaming.
Well, God bless you, because that's one of the things that movies are doing less of these days, and whether it's been about superheroes or sequels, there are fewer movies that aspire to do those things. And one reason I wrote the book is because I believe in that. And I believe that I may have something to give to younger filmmakers who read the book and who are motivated the same way. Just provocative in terms of trying to, hold up a mirror, to the world for people, and the mirror that maybe is stark and revealing. But it's not about the message; it's about the experience of it. They're to take their own messages, I think. And I've got the fire in my belly still. I'm not about to just go fishing and retire to the motion picture home quite yet. It's not in my blood. I hope I die in the saddle.
For the Saturday Evening Post, I'm Jeannie Wolf.